right, let's see. Is it working now, boys? Let me know. I'm back again. It's showing my audio coming through right now, but we know how flimsy my technology has a tendency to be, so I could be wrong. You hear me? All right, cool. Nice. I love that for us. I love that for us. Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, that man Zach was really trying to get me to dance on here. Not gonna say I don't got rhythm, I just no dance. I'm saying, yo, braids Keontae or fro Keontae? Good question. I think braids is when the knowledge really knocks into his brain. Excuse me, really locks into his brain. So I'm gonna go braids. I'm gonna go braids. Afro just gives the youth. It gives the youth the learning of the game, the needing to understand what's going on, just the baby steps as he goes along the way. So I'm definitely gonna go braids. Plus, it's just a cleaner look, honestly. Not to say that an afro isn't a clean look, because I have my days like that too. But still, you know. Must see. I told you Zach was trying to get me to dance. Man, look, I can't help myself. But where were we? Where were we? We were just chatting about everybody, weren't we? But yeah, the Suns absolutely mollywopped the Timberwolves 133 to 115, which was crazy to me because they had been such a good team so far. Getting busted like that was actually alarming to me, if I'm being honest. But some things are to be expected, not gonna lie. And I guess that was just one of those things where it was bound to happen. So I'm not particularly mad about it, honestly. But that just doesn't bode well since we're going to be the next team that has to deal with them. So I'm not loving that, but that's part of the whole ambiance, the energy, the flavor of everything, if that makes sense. So you just kind of take what you can get out of it. He said, "Imagine how cool it would be if you did a cartwheel." Tyson hit the like button if you did. Man, look, I can't do a cartwheel either. I'm too tall and heavy. Let's see. Jazz turnovers must have killed the sound that Clarkson Sixers defense. Man, look. But here we are. Here we are. If you don't think if I said I can't do a cartwheel, you think I can do a backflip? A backflip is absolutely insane. Yeah, I'm definitely not that skilled at life. I appreciate the vote of confidence, though. I wish I could do a backflip. I actually owe somebody a backflip that I'm physically incapable of doing. So that's always funny, always hilarious. But oh, I'm also side note. I'm also getting close to 100K overall views on the channel, so that's cool, right? It's kind of cool. Favorite jazz nickname mine has to be with Young Bull and Blocker Kessler. I gotta go the Young Bull, man. The Young Bull brought me over. The Young Bull's been the wave I'm riding. Um, Obviously, you can't go wrong with the finisher. Now, if we were actually winning, if we were winning a lot of games and Lowry was being clutch, then the finisher would hit a lot harder. But just off the strength of the fact that he's like actually from Finland, I think it's cool that he was able that he got that nickname. That's lit to me. If not Kuzi. Oh, is that your first? Is that your first comment, Kuzi? What's up, man? Glad to have you here with us. Gotta fold this up. Sorry, didn't mean to do that on cam. On the real, would you trade Olynyk at this point? Not yet. He kind of fills a weird niche where he just does what needs to be done sometimes. So because I appreciate that, I just go ahead and keep him around. Now, that being said, Keontae kind of assists with the playmaking deficit that he was like covering up for, even though it wasn't really working for us. So there's something to be said about appreciating that and not just completely violating him and shipping him to God knows where. And since he's on an expiring contract, it begs the question, when would you go ahead and just let him go? Or if it would be a thing of you just letting him play this year out. Do you let him play this year out and let Hendricks get some serious burn next year? Or do you re-sign Olynyk and try and work Hendricks in as time goes on? I think they'll probably end up leaning, depending on how Hendricks' development goes as far as the G League is concerned. I could see them allowing the contract to expire and just letting him walk. Or if he has a preferred destination, they could try and ship him there towards the end of the season. Well, at the deadline, and then let Hendricks get there. Let's see. The Flame. That's a good one. You growing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why is it that modern people dominate while they're still old? Like T-Mac, Rondo, a whole lot of people sucked at 31, 32 years old. We got old heads running the league. I would say part of it is because it's just a thing of the just the general health and like the way they take care of their bodies is a little bit better now, right? Treatment and trying to stay in the league for longer is important to stars. So like LeBron, a complete anomaly, but it all starts with LeBron because he's that guy that continually everybody is going to be compared to. Everybody's going to be like, well, can they measure up to LeBron's greatness? Da da da. How progressive have they been as an individual? Health wise, longevity wise. You also have Kevin Durant, who just enjoys playing basketball. Then you have Stephen Curry, who's a shooter, so he's not going to take as much of a fall or a decline as his athleticism falls off because he's going to be like a conditioning thing. When his conditioning goes bad, then you'll see Curry like struggle a little bit. But outside of that, I wouldn't be too concerned. It's just the type of player, I guess. And we have more of one specific type of player. And now that's the shooters league. It's less physically demanding in a different context. Because he said, wait, are you from Utah? And if not, why do you support the Utah Jazz? Oh, because this guy right here. In all honesty, there's a lot of players on the Utah Jazz that I just like individually. So when they all arrived at the same point in Utah Jazz timing, it gave me the perfect opportunity to go ahead and cover the Jazz. And then when I work the Jazz content into my overall thing, because obviously if you look at my older videos, I was a lot more diverse in the type of videos that I posted. The jazz community was just more interactive with my videos, and I realized y'all didn't really have like a big content creator, or at the very least a lot of content creators that really represented you guys. I figured like that was my niche opportunity to wiggle my way in there and take advantage of the situation and just give you guys some quality content. So I like the Jazz, and now I have the opportunity to use them to benefit me and have my content benefit their fans. So it's something to be appreciative for me. I guess it's a mutual exchange. Smash the like button hard, Tyson. Bro, imagine Lowry winning a game 7 in the playoffs. That finisher name would be everywhere. Oh yeah, for sure. He said girlfriend just walked in. Oh no, that was my brother. Yeah, he just got off work. His door creaks though, so that's one thing I don't love. He's not very present minded in that sense. Um, if you were 35 back in the 90s, you were doo doo. Now if you're 35, they still cooking. True, true. It's also a slightly less physical game. You're more likely to get certain types of foul calls. And just overall, the game is less physically demanding. It's just more so about conditioning and can you still move? Like, are you still serviceable enough on offense to cover your defensive holes? Because obviously at 35, you're not moving like you were at 32. Or should be at 30 or 25. You know what I'm saying? Garnett and Paul Pierce are a good example. MF was dropped off at like 32. Low key, low key. That's a good point. I was wondering about that though the other day. Like that Brooklyn Nets team was some nasty work. It looked good at first when like signing day, but it just never cooked. They never cooked. Thoughts on Chris Dunn and his future on the team? I'm from his hometown, so it's cool to see him back in the league. Yeah, I'm just glad that he's consistently like he's getting paid consistent money to be on somebody's roster. I would love to see him playing. Obviously, I was a proponent for saying that he won the point guard battle in the preseason, so I would have went him over THT in the beginning and let Keontae take over after him. I'm ever sayer of that. Now, that being said, obviously things haven't panned out that way, and now they just streamlined and Keontae's a starting point guard, which I don't hate. I would love for him to be on the floor with Keontae, but I understand that, you got JC, you got Clarkson. There's a lot of mouths to feed, right? Stable's got a lot of mouths to feed, gotta feed all your horses. So he's kind of like that odd guy out, and he's not super expressive on the court, which leads me also to believe that he's not super expressive off the court or like in practice and things. So he's one of those guys where if you don't start him or he doesn't get a lot of minutes, he's not going to be sitting there muttering under his breath, complaining, dragging down the team, being like a cancerous type of person, which is why we just haven't really probably heard anything from him. That being said, I think he's probably going to continue to play like 10-ish, 12-ish minutes. Some nights, obviously, if there's an injury or something, he'll play more minutes and he'll be effective in those minutes, I personally believe. If I would like to see him, just like I would like to see Colin Sexton in a starting role somewhere, even if it's not here. So I believe that it's feasible that he does get traded. I don't know if it happens this year, just because he's such a reliable piece to have on your roster. If he's not trying to get traded, I don't think they will deal him. I mean, he has $2.5 million guaranteed, so it's not a significant hit either way. But I think it's okay right now. Zach said Deron Williams too. Yeah. Yep. Same thing. So if we trade Sexton, you will still be rocking with? Yeah. Yeah. No. Just if Colin Sexton does get traded, I'm still gonna be here. Yeah. I'm just gonna feel a little bit of partiality towards when Colin Sexton plays his 20 to 28 minutes a night on whatever team he gets traded to. I'll watch that action. I'll watch his highlights. Um we have some, but honestly prefer you over them. Nah, we got any content, people. I think I'm gonna start doing streams and stuff once work slows down this winter. But yeah, dude, it's like you, Monty, David. Yeah, the best call out. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I actually saw Monty pop up in my little graphic where it tells me like what channels my viewers watch. And I went to his channel and I was like, oh, he's putting up decent numbers to what I was putting up. And I looked and it was like he uploaded 2 weeks ago and then a month ago and then like 2.5 ish months ago he was really active. And I was like, what in the world happened? Just died when the season started? Obviously he didn't, but I was like kind of surprised. But yeah. Um prefer you over all of them. W Mans, yes sir, yes sir. Do you think JC should be traded to a contender and the Jazz should continue the rebuild? JC does. He's the. Let me think. Maybe it's not him. I'm gonna pull up my analytics in a second to tell you exactly who it is that I'm thinking of then, because I don't think the guy's name was Monty. Now that I think about it, I could be off. I'm probably definitely off. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check in a second. I'll tell you. But what were we saying? Oh, Jordan Clarkson. Um, he doesn't fit the age gap requirement, so he's probably got like 2 good years left in him, anyways. If you can get enough back, or if you can move him to get like a better guard, I would say ship him. And if you got to ship Sexton, ship Sexton. If you got to ship THT, ship THT, and like send a second round pick, a first round pick, later on down the line to go along with them and get something solid in return, a solid piece. Like trading him for Zach LaVine would be 1-to-1. I think Zach LaVine is slightly younger. I could be wrong. They're probably around the same age, realistically speaking. But I think Zach LaVine might be like 1 or 2 years younger, I would wager. So something like that wouldn't be terrible. It wouldn't push the needle too much, but it would be an acceptable deal to make, I think. He said, I don't think we would have resigned him on both sides if we were going to trade him 2 months in. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So if we do trade Jordan Clarkson, it's definitely going to be a lot closer to the deadline this year, but it's also equally feasible if he continues to score efficiently. Then the concerns will be dispelled about his really shaky start to the season, and they'll just kind of give him the benefit of the doubt and let him rock out, most likely. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and I'm going to open my studio in a new tab, and I'll put these side by side. All right. Pull my analytics. It'll tell me. One boy that's not gonna lie to me. My analytics not gonna lie to me, son. Audience. That's the tab that's under. One of these days I gotta do like a screen share type one to make it easy. The money show, yeah, he covers all Utah sports, probably way busy because of what he's doing. Let's see here. So most of my biggest crossover from the past 28 days, at least, has been with Hoops Nerd, Locked On Jazz, then the Suns Valley podcast and the Utah Jazz channel, then Burn City Sports, then Locked On Suns, then Ace of Basketball. Then I need to open that channel up. Actually, I've never seen what they're about. Then the Phoenix Suns, then the Suns Geek, then Sporty Spence 17 was the person I was thinking of. He has 471 subscribers. Then there's DNA Sports Recap, Von Sanity, NBA Highlights, Phoenix Sports, and Crispy Flakes NBA. So I don't know where did I see Namonti's name at? He's not coming up for me right now. I'm not really sure. But I have seen him frequently. Honestly, never heard of him till now. Well, learn something new. Hoops Nerd too loud, can't stand. That seems to be the general sentiment for those that prefer me over him. I was listening to one of his shorts and it was informational, but it sounded like his audio was not as good as it should have been, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I was just dreaming. That could have been it. But yeah. Side note, I kind of really like the members thing. Cause the video I did today about Asura Thompson obviously bombed, right? I think I only have like 8 to 10-ish views on it right now. But like outside of that, it was just not a very good overall look for me personally. So that being said, back to the good old I don't know. I gotta come up with a topic for today's video because I do plan on doing a video today, even though I am live streaming tonight. So I'm not 100% sure what that's gonna look like. I'm still debating now. If anybody has any suggestions. Jordan, can't sleep, bro. I actually accidentally took a nap earlier. Like I was feeling the vibe. I was like, let me stream for like an hour or so, like a calm little hour. But then what ended up happening was I fell asleep on the floor. And so I woke up and it was like 3 hours after I messaged in the chat or I made the post asking guys, like, should I stream tonight? So I was like, you know what? Let me be a man of my word, hop on real quick, and we're going to chat with the boys. So that's where we're at now. And then 2 streams later, because the first one I have to actually destroy because it was like 2 minutes long. It was actual absolute hot dog water. But we're making progress. You know, we're making progress. Watched him once. His energy was really high, and it was really hard to listen to listen to his energy. I understand. I understand. I think he really engages with the younger audience. So I feel like his overall age splits on on his audience views is probably significantly younger than mine. But as long as we get everybody, as long as one of us gets everybody's attention and like provides value to the community, I'm pretty cool with that. Let's see. What's up, man? What did you see the Jazz doing in the trade deadline? I could see them offloading 2 guards. But if for the Jazz, if nobody's discontent, Keontae's growing, Walker progresses and gets back to what he was at the very end of last season. Lowry continues to shoot really well. JC's not playing like hot dog water. And John Collins is still good. I might keep things as they are because we have a lot of draft picks, right? Maybe you want to trade some of those draft picks to get a higher one in the immediate future, but I don't know anybody off the top of my head this upcoming draft that's going to be like super crazy. So with that in mind, you just take it with a grain of salt, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't expect anything crazy, but if there is a trade made, it's probably going to be for a guard. Because we do have Taylor Hendricks again stashed in the G League right now. So when the time comes, he's going to be the guy that gets brought up first, and I think he's going to be ready to ball out. Jordan, you said X and O naps are the best, unforced and natural rest. Real. Literally real. Tyson with it. Yup. I'm curious, how are other rookies doing this season, specifically on rookies on rebuilding teams? Yeah. Obviously, a Sir over. Amen. Mm-hmm. Jordan. Oh man, looking forward to Kessler performing better now that KG3 is a better playmaker than THT. Yeah. Love Keontae in the lineup. Yep. If you're doing a jazz simulation on 2K, Keontae is averaging 20 plus points next year. I could see it. Definitely. His efficiency is going to take a little bit of work, but it's going to be good. Just insane. The guy they picked at 16th is starting, and their lottery pick got shipped to the G League. He said Javon Carter, Trey Jones, Tyus Jones, Brogdon. Give me Tyus Jones. Give me Tyus Jones. Overall, there's not been rookies that have been having a terrific season. Obviously, Wemby and Chet have been going piece for piece, and in their most recent, in their first regular season matchup, they both actually played really rough, but they were also guarding each other, and I think they have a better feel for each other's game. So that's going to be one that's going to be like a really defensive game whenever they play each other, and I love it. It's really good. What was I saying? What was I thinking? Once Keontae gets his efficiency up, like he's taking good shots. So once the shots just start falling, he's going to be a lot more confident. He's going to be a lot better, and it's going to look a lot more appealing to other people. And it's also going to open up avenues for his passing lanes to get a little bit easier and just be better overall because people aren't going to want to play with it. They're going to overplay the shot, and then when he makes that quick dish, served hot, best believe. Oh yeah, that's what Rakuzi you said. It's insane that the guy that picks the 16th is starting in the lottery pick got shipped to the G League. It's just a need based thing. Like they found themselves in a good situation where you have Walker Kessler at center, right? You traded and you traded basically nothing to get John Collins, and then you have Lowry Markkinen. So those three guys undoubtedly are better than Taylor Hendricks is as a rookie, right? And probably it won't be until we see year 3 Taylor Hendricks where I'd say he might be John Collins level, right? Or better, maybe. But outside of that, you're looking at a guy that's just going to be fighting for bench minutes. And when you take into account the fact that we needed the playmaking of Kelly Olynyk, you can't have him play over Kelly Olynyk because Taylor Hendricks is a solid shooter, solid defense, solid scoring ability, solid rebounding, but he's not the playmaker that Kelly Olynyk is. So since you need playmaking because you have a deficit and your small forward being Lowry Markkinen isn't a playmaker, you think of teams like the Lakers where you have LeBron James where he's your offensive hub and he's your playmaking guy at the forward spot. Most teams have a playmaking forward or their center is a decent playmaker. We don't really have that, so that's why Olynyk is so important, which kind of just edged minutes out of the way. Not to say that, you know, not to say that he's bad, right? But more so to say that it's not really to say that Taylor Hendricks is bad. It's just to say that he's been afforded the opportunity to grow slower than most rookies are. And because of that, that just landed him in the G League. Because he could just be sitting the bench right now. But they sent him to the G League to get some extra burn and to stay competitive. Especially part of the thing that handed him out is the hamstring injury he dealt with at the very beginning during the summer league time because you really didn't get to see a lot of him. You didn't get to see a lot of. I mean, you saw a lot of tape, but you didn't get to see him play against guys that were also hungry for it, guys that have been in the league for a little bit, just guys trying to find a paycheck, honestly, like you did with Keontae. And Keontae cut up in the summer league, and obviously here we are now. John Stockton averaged 9.7 assists, 4.3 turnovers, and first 3 starts. KG is averaging 9 assists per game and only 1.7 turnovers. Yep. Hopefully it stays this way. We'll find out across these next 2 games how feasible that is against upper level teams. Dennis Schroeder also. Yes. Do you watch any other sports? Yeah, I watch. The only sport that I don't really watch is probably baseball and hockey. Like I'll tune into baseball if it's a big game. Hockey, I occasionally see the highlights of, but I just don't pay attention to those two. But like basketball, football, mandatory, right? Soccer or world style football is something that I was more interested in it when I was younger. And obviously, like most kids, I played FIFA. My favorite team growing up was Real Madrid, not because of Cristiano Ronaldo, but because of Karim Benzema, who is still there right now and still being a serviceable piece for that roster. Um, but yeah, I just love streaking down the sideline. And Benzema from outside the box, taking a strike on goal. That one's gonna go. I just remember the celebrations and everything. It's a little bit nostalgia now that I think about it, but it was good. It was good. Sir Miller, Hawkins, Lively, Havasali. Ooh, yes, you do bring up a good point, Kuzi. Yes, Brandon Miller's playing a lot better than I thought he was. Right, because the Hornets don't necessarily have a good track record of developing players or taking advantage of a good talent when we have it. Bar LaMelo Ball and Kemba Walker. So picking him over Scoot, I wasn't feeling it, but now I'm feeling it a little bit more. Right, I'm a little bit more comfortable with it because things are looking better, and he's putting up solid numbers. He's making good decisions with the ball in his hands, and that's the number one thing you want from a rookie. You can make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. You're a rookie. This is the highest level of basketball there is in the world, and you're trying to learn how to play at it. So being able to make quality mistakes and not just boneheaded knucklehead mistakes is also a key thing. And he's been pretty solid overall. So I got to give him credit like that, obviously. And then Hawkins is Lively. We know them. Dude is on the Mavericks. The rookie has been nice. Yeah, most rookies aren't efficient anyways. Nothing new. I agree. Yep. Seeing Taylor Hendricks just a few feet in front of me, he was kind of skinny. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. He definitely needs he could use 15 to 20-ish pounds, in my opinion, of course. In my opinion. What are your thoughts on John Collins' fit on the team? I love John Collins. I love John Collins. Tyson, you said I'm liking John more and more every game. TBH, just get more likable might change my profile pic. It's memorable. If you change it, I'm definitely gonna notice. Go, you said I'm a Real Madrid fan too. Yes, sir. I love John Collins' fit on this team because he doesn't take away touches from anybody. And bar the most recent game they played, he's been efficient like in literally every game, like hyper efficient, like 70-ish percent, getting 14 points, but he's doing it on 7 shot attempts, going 6 of 7, 5 of 7, right? And then hitting his free throws or hitting 1 out of his 2 corner threes or 2 out of his 3 threes. So overall, I love John Collins. Fit on this team. Obviously, he's not a great playmaker, so you don't expect him to do that for other people. You expect somebody to be a table setter for him. He can put the ball on the floor and get to his spots as he needs, but he's also going to drive middle from off a catch from the wing. He tends to curl in middle towards the middle of the paint, and if he doesn't like the angle that he has going to the rim, he'll go ahead and look opposite and make the extra pass, which is always just a simple read to make, and when executed properly, it allows you to be a solid team. So from that standpoint, I love it. Um, that being said, defensively, he sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired, which stings because defense is what we really need. That needs to be our calling card going forward. But overall, I'm definitely a believer in John Collins for real. For sure, for sure, for sure. Mm-mm-mm. Had this profile pic for like 4 years, but now I'm an adult. Probably time to change it. I'm weak. I mean, it's nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? It's a reminder of the child you once were before you were a man, right? Nothing wrong with it. Because you said John Collins' rim protecting hasn't been that bad, but he gets blown by on the perimeter. Yeah, he's been moving a little bit slower laterally than I was kind of hoping. I don't know if that's like a lingering issue from something else, or if there's something that hasn't been disclosed to us. But yeah, definitely not the most ideal situation and circumstances. Austin Villa, interesting. Yeah, nice, nice. Can't be mad at it. I always get too attached to our Jazz players, but this team needs to make trades. Can't wait to see how different the roster looks at the end of the season. I'll say there's probably going to be one notable trade that occurs before the trade deadline, and it might be like literally the day of or the day before the trade deadline. But I think there's going to be one significant trade if you're the Utah Jazz, for sure. Do you think the Jazz should make any roster changes so far? And if so, what roster changes by the deadline? I like seeing Ochai get minutes. Hasn't been the prettiest, right? But I like Ochai having the ability to fail, right? Obviously, I wanted Dunn to play. It's not really happening. THT and Sexton, if you can keep staggering the minutes like this and you don't hate the results and it's not yielding a significant negative deficit when they're on the court, then keep doing it. That being said, I don't know how feasible that is, so I wouldn't force those boys to be something that they're really not, if that makes sense. And that's not like oh, I hate them kind of thing, because I don't. I want them both to succeed. But it's just a very difficult time right now for them. Honestly. But there's a lot to be said about it. I think THT has the more value out of the two of them, so he's going to be the easiest to move. Sexton is like just a scorer who lacks who's going to lack defense regardless of where he goes, and then he's going to have the Kemba Walker problem where as he gets up there in age, and if he has another significant injury that really slows him down, it's going to be hard to play him because, yeah, he might be able to shoot a little bit and he might be efficient at scoring, but he's not a terrific playmaker. He's more of a shooting guard, a short shooting guard with that physically will be unable to play defense. So that's his ultimate fate, I think, and I don't love that for him, but I'm glad that we get to see him have fun and ball while the getting's good. He said, "Yeah, I miss Rudy and Donovan. Those were the days, man." But at the same time, we had seen the ceiling, and I was glad that they blew it up when they did. Because if you wait, who's to say you get the pieces that you get? And if uh, you just don't do it at all, well, who's to say what that team would look like now? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't say you love Ochoa. Mm-hmm. The Rudy Don days were fun. Playoffs were always disappointing. but top that, but yeah. A 9-man rotation of Keontae, Dunn, Ochai, Lowry, Hendricks, Olenek, Collins, and Kessler in year 7 would be great. I can see it. Just because Clarkson's been around for a minute, that might be a little bit of a sore spot. THT's kind of, it feels like he's overstayed his welcome a little bit. I like Colin Sexton off the bench for this team because he's that energizer bunny guy. And I don't think this team really has one if it's not him. Because THT, calmer demeanor, right? Jordan Clarkson has a little bit of hype to him, but it's not the same, if that makes sense. John Collins is pretty reserved. Lowry's pretty reserved. Walker's pretty reserved. Like, you don't have that up and like hyper energy amongst any of the players without Colin Sexton. Like him getting that getting who were we playing when he held him to that 8-second backcourt violation and he was just hype. And it's like, that's just one play. That's one turnover, bro. What are you talking about? But at the same time, you need that type of energy because that's the type of play that galvanizes your team when nobody else is either hitting, even if you're having a rough night, whatever the case may be. He just has that vocal vocal presence, and he wants it bad enough. And that's why he's called the young bull, because no matter what happens, he's going to try and run through that brick wall. If he sees red, he's going for it. Might not be great, right? He won't have a great shooting night every night. He won't make the best decisions. He might turn the ball over 3-4 times a night. You know what I'm saying? But he's that guy where no matter what happens, you can say a lot of things about him. But what you can't say is he did not try, because he's going to try every time. That's one thing about, best believe. That's one thing about Colin Sexton. He's going to try every time without fail. Without fail. But some things just take time. Some things just take time. You guys don't have a heart of the team. Yeah. Hot take, but if this is Lowry's peak, you could capitalize on his trade value and get somebody to overpay. You definitely could. And I would agree with that if you don't think you can build around him. If you don't think you can capitalize yourself on Lowry's peak, then you need to find a way to get pieces that will, I guess, immediately look better alongside him or in place of him, I guess. Wild thought, but what if with all Bronny's concerns, like with him like randomly going into cardiac arrest and whatnot this year, what if we drafted Bronny James and brought LeBron in to play alongside Lowry and the boys next year? I know everybody wouldn't love that, but it would be kind of funny. It would be funny, honestly. LeBron, Lowry, Markkinen, Walker Kessler. LeBron would make Walker Kessler look crazy though. Yeah, one thing about Walker Kessler, he would not be hitting on offense. Best believe. Man, Walker would be giving you 14 and 14 a night, and if he didn't, LeBron would be up in his face yelling at him. It would definitely change the dynamic of the team, and I don't know if long term it would be ideal. I also don't know how LeBron would feel about going to Utah. I mean, obviously D Wade's part of the team ownership, so he could get a little bit of insight of the city from him. There's not really much to go that goes on there from nightlife perspective. But LeBron James has been a family man and a basketball player his entire career, right? He's not known to be a James Harden guy where he's got to be out of the club right after the game. Um, but I don't know. Just a random thought. Just a random thought. Of course, I don't think that is likely, but it would be funny. It would be funny. You said like Marcus Smart on Boston, referring to Sexton, yeah, yeah, or Draymond on the Warriors. Also, thoughts on Rudy and Trey situation. Oh yeah, Marcus Smarts don't grow on trees. That's a fact. Rudy and Trey was funny. Not gonna lie. LeBron Utah as well. I don't know. It just randomly popped in my head, and I was like, huh, that's an interesting one. Let me talk this one out and reason myself out with it. Um, yo, Draymond was out of pocket, bro. He came flying across. Like the action had low key stopped a half second before he gets airborne. And then he gets airborne and jumps. And you know Draymond don't got no vert. So he jumps like 2 inches off the ground, comes flying in, grabs Rudy Gobert, puts him in that headlock, holding him. Cry for you, mom. If you have me on Twitter, I reposted I retweeted a thread where it had like their interactions over the past like 3-4 years. Because they low key haven't liked each other for a minute. And I kept forgetting that, and then it just all culminated in that. But 5 games for that when Kyrie got 10 games for reposting a video link, nasty work, nasty work. And I'm sure it's in like the guidelines for the league of what kind of suspension you can give people. So it's probably consistent with that, and that's why it didn't make sense to me. But at the same time, it's just yeah, not ideal. Um, if you could swap Keontae for Scoot or Thompson to him right now, would you do it? Mm, that's a good question. I wouldn't do it for a Thompson twin right now, right? Because I just don't see them as the floor general. Very solid players, right? Will have a long NBA career, well into their 30s, but I just don't see them being the. So it would really be Keontae for Scoot. Scoot's not having a good year right now, but off the potential of Scoot alone, you could argue it. He's not as good of a playmaker as Keontae has shown himself to be thus far in his 3 starts. But if Scoot was going to be an elite playmaker, I would be willing to make that switch. Because Scoot also has that engine, that Marcus Smart type engine, where like he's not a super chatty guy, but best believe if he makes a good play, you gonna hear him. He gonna talk what he got to talk. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna say what needs to be said for him personally and his players. I think the best player we could have gotten with fit in Utah would have been Dame. Yeah, Dame's also not really having a good year shooting, which is alarming because that was the whole point of getting him, trading for Drew and all those things. But yeah, I felt like they should have given up Chris Middleton because I knew Middleton wasn't going to return to form that well, but things just aren't looking too great for him overall this year and going forward. Mm, yeah, maybe for the Thompson twin in Detroit, fair. Keontae is solid. Yeah, it's just that they fit 2 different niche roles. If you were to trade Keontae for that for a Soar, you would definitely have to go ahead and just get what's his name? If you trade him for a Sir Thompson, my brain's folding on me. You would have to probably start Dunn at point guard. Honestly, 1 year later, do you think won the trade, the Wolves or the Jazz? Uh, in the big picture, look, the Jazz did. Right now, the Wolves are finally finding themselves. So instead of looking like a lopsided trade, it's looking a little bit more even now, right? Rudy Gobert is in depoy. Uh, he's in depoy mode. He's playing very efficiently, playing really well. So from that context, I do like it. I do like what he's got going on, but it's just going to be a thing of can is it something that he can consistently do going forward? I think he can, but it might take a little bit of an adjustment. So we'll just see how that pans out the rest of the year. But I think it's a little bit more even because of how Rudy's been playing this year. Still giving the edge to the Jazz, though. Definitely still giving it. Just for sure, Rudy will only go so far in the playoffs. Also true. A lot of people don't want to hear, but Rudy is a Hall of Famer. Oh, definitely, definitely. Things that he did on defense make him a Hall of Famer. Even before I was a Jazz fan, I was a Rudy defender. When he signed that first massive deal, everybody's like, "Bro, he's not worth 200 M's." And I had to be the one person dying on that hill, explaining how important his lanky, awkward self was, just how important his defense was. Right? I was dying on that hill, something crazy. But overall, definitely worth doing it. He won Depoy three times. Moment might win another one. He's absolutely getting Hall of Fame spot. Not to mention his all defensive first teams. Yep. Yes, sir. Since Rudy's a Hall of Famer, we love to see him in Utah, but he's not a championship player. His contract totally ruined his value to any team. Loki. Scoot can't shoot though, and had a ton of injuries already. Yeah, that's why I said off the potential of the players individually. Because Scoot, when he was like draft value, even in his workouts, they were like he didn't miss a shot, like he was locked in all this. So I was like, okay, I'm inclined to believe that he's going to learn how to shoot. And if he didn't miss a shot in the draft workouts, I'm inclined to believe that he can shoot, and that just wasn't something that he was required to do. He was an efficient downhill driver of the basketball, which I can accept, right? But obviously things just haven't really panned out from this rookie year. I think he will eventually hit still. Don't get it twisted. But the gap between him and Brandon Miller isn't as wide as I originally thought it was. But that also means the gap between him and Victor Wembanyama is a little wider than I thought it was. I do understand the feeling for Asur though. I mean, if Rudy is a Hall of Famer, is Dame? Yeah. Dame's an elite scorer, had a couple playoff moments here and there. I think him making a deep run with Giannis this year, if they could if they beat Boston, right, in the playoffs and they go to the finals, Dame's has a guaranteed seat at the table for a Hall of Fame. Wild thing for me, I'm a Kyrie lover, right? So speaking of which, I look at the jersey and I start thinking about Kyrie. Speaking of which, I might lean still Kyrie over Dame. Because Kyrie, like Dame does a lot of similar things to Curry, right? He just doesn't move as well off the ball, sometimes he's caught camping in the corner. Kyrie just has a whole different bag because of his handle. His brain just works different. And like watching Kai play is just it's poetry, it's art, it's just art in motion, man. And it can't be understudied. Like I can watch Kyrie dribble highlights in an AMV for hours on end, just off the strength of how he plays. He's just so crafty. Just when you think you got him cut off, he's countering. Wait, oh, you were ready for the counter? Boom, counter to the counter. Oh, you like that? Counter to the counter to the counter to the rim off glass in some awkward way. Oh, you're not stopping this. It's like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? And he plays well against anybody. I loved him being paired with LeBron, and I wish they never like had the split that they did, because I love Kyrie Irving on LeBron. Kyrie was never going to be a number one option on a championship winning team to me. The only guard in today's league that was able to do that was Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry was a system. The Warriors do not win without Stephen Curry. Steve Kerr is not a Hall of Fame coach without Stephen Curry, right? Steph has done something that no real guard in today's game has been capable of doing, or probably will ever be able to do capably again. And that's win a championship while not only being the number one option, but being the main reason why your team is capable of winning any games. Right? I just don't, because his gravity allowed for open shots for the other guys. This year, you're seeing that the other guys just can't hit their shots when they're taking them. So does he have gravity? Yes. He's the only person that's been scoring over 20 points, right? So if he's dropping 30, 30, 30, 27, 25, 23, 30, 30, 30, and the other guys just can't get a bucket, that's not a gripe on him not being able to get his guys open because you're going to try and step out. You're going to try and get a stop on Curry, but he's the guy that's going to get buckets. But if he's the only guy getting buckets, there's only but so much he can do. You know what I'm saying? I think the Jazz. I think the Jazz won the trade, given that we got Kessler and George from it. Yeah, just narrowed down my profile pick between 3 picks. Okay, Tyson. Yes, sir. Logic. James, you said if the Wolves don't win the West, at least once, that trade is a huge flop for the Wolves. Jazz, no matter what happens for them, TBA one, no matter. Yeah. The Wolves have to make a deep playoff run. Even if they don't win the West, they have to be like a consistent third round team or like going to game 7, round 2 type beat, and then seeing round 3 every so often, right? I don't know if I expect a championship. Ant makes me want to expect a championship, and that's not fair to Ant, right? Because I feel like I should hold him to like LeBron-esque, Kobe-esque tier just because he's a winner. He's not just a I'm gonna give you 30. He's a I'm gonna give him 30 and you're gonna lose. Like if one of us has to lose tonight, and it's gonna be you, because it's not gonna be me. Like that's that energy he comes with, and I love it because he's taking defense personally this year. For one, for two, the efficiency's still there. He's upped his shot numbers, especially after the FIBA play. I think that really affected him positively, whereas Walker Kessler kind of suffered from it. I just like it more, man. Just, it's just in the words of Stephen A. Smith. Oh, don't get me started. It had me salivating. Man, look. Eric, you said Rudy might be the most one-dimensional player ever. I know screen assists are a thing, and his high field goal position is always up there from putbacks and lobs, but too one-dimensional. Yeah, offensively, he had no bag. My brothers used to tell. We used to have this conversation all the time. Where I'd be like, "Bro, he's worth money because he's a great defender. Like you don't understand how many shots he alters at the rim and how bad everybody shoots against him versus on a nightly basis against a different team inside the paint." And they're like, "But bro, he can't dribble. He's always falling all over the place. He's so slim. Like on offense, look at him. He has no bag." And I'm like, bro, yes, I know he doesn't have a bag, but still, bro, you don't see the vision. You don't see the vision, kind of thing. It was fun. It was fun. Rudy has a way better team in Minnesota. Yeah, he has a better overall team. I would pick Ant over Donovan Mitchell right now, right? So Ant versus Donovan Mitchell back then, definitely still picking Ant. Add that to the fact that you have a solid point guard in your Mike Conley. You have Cat, even though Cat looks to be on the trading block very soon. You like what you're seeing. Then you said love Kyrie. Kuzi, you said Kyrie over Dame all time. Yeah. I gotta go Kai overall. Because neither of them can win on their own. But I just like what Kyrie brings to a team and the game overall individually. When, of course, he's active, because we know Kyrie has his tendencies to just be MIA from time to time. From time to time, I mean, pretty consistently. He said, I mean, yeah, he has a ring, but as an individual player, still, I know it's a hot take. It's me. I gotta stand on that one though. You said, well, Steph, let's see. Ooh, hot take. Tony Parker is the best point guard the last 20 years. Pure point, he had a really great system to benefit him. Now, overall, I might lean still Chris Paul. Chris Paul always gets injured in the playoffs. That pisses me off because I never get to see the true potential of Chris Paul because of that. I was robbed of it back in the Lob City days. Those were the best days, in my opinion, of Chris Paul's career. Throwing it up and letting Blake Griffin get it, letting DeAndre Jordan get it, punching on Brandon Knight back when Brandon Knight was taking L's every other night. Bro, unmatched. That was peak basketball. That was when the Warriors were first becoming a solid team too. Goodness. That was peak NBA, man. I loved it. Cavs should also retire too, since they're already retiring 0. I don't know if they will, though. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, he has a ring, but player still. I understand. Steph isn't your conventional point guard. Yeah, he's the greatest shooter of all time, and that's part of it. Yeah, nah, Curry. Never mind. Parker is overrated. Tony Parker was a system player, but he was a darn good one. And I think that's the difference. Like there's some people where they look good on their own. You have some people that look really good in the system. You have guys that will be elite in the system, and then you have guys that will be elite alone. LeBron is one of those guys that is elite alone. You put him in a system, the system might not make the best use of his abilities. That's what Darvin Ham was struggling with, particularly at the very beginning of the season, because he tried to cut down on his minutes, right? Because you don't want him to be injury prone, but you also want to make sure you win games. And you can't win games without LeBron because why? LeBron is the system. When you utilize LeBron to his highest point, and it's going to burn him out, right? At this age, no matter how well he does recovery and conditioning and everything in the postseason, he's still going to be, suffering. But like outside of that, it's just that next level. And I would say that Tony Parker was an elite system player. I think that's what benefited his career the most because Tony Parker on the freaking Hornets, hot dog water, right? Hot dog water. There's nothing there for him. But because he was on the Spurs, it was a perfect matchup made in heaven. He said Kyrie took LeBron for granted, and LeBron has even said he wanted the best for Kyrie, but he wanted to be the man. Yeah. And Kai learned after time that what how it should have been. But that's how it is sometimes, man. Sometimes you don't know a good thing until you lose it, unfortunately. Steph is still a good floor general and playmaker. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'd say he is. Yeah. I got to see the Wolves Warriors playoff series, both teams healthy. Yeah. I liked Kings Warriors last year though. That was delicious. From like a student of the game perspective, watching them the iterations of the same type of team play against each other was just finger licking. Um and the modern day Jordan, yes, but I like him better. I like him better than Jordan. Like shoots better from three, obviously. More efficient overall score. They both took defense personally, right? They both wanted to win games. I just like this, like Ant, so just authentic. Sometimes I don't want to say Jordan looked like he was playing a role or like he was acting, but it didn't feel like it was always just who he was. You see Ant in interviews, and it's just like he's just a guy. He's a guy that you would see on a bus. Like you ever get on a public city bus? Ant's one of those guys. He's one of those guys. You knew somebody like that in high school, right? If you went to college, you knew somebody like that in college. If you were in the workplace or you just took a route or you live in a big city area and you go to a court, you know a guy like Anthony Edwards. Like he's just a very relatable guy. And at the same time, he go talk that talk and let you know, bro, I'm trying to win. But yeah, I'll take the Cavs are the second best team in the East. Right now, I see the vision. I can't agree with you, but I see the vision. In fact, they got Garland playing. Just smooth with it. Yeah, Darius Garland. I think that they were correct picking him over Colin Sexton. In all honesty, better playmaker, just better overall decision maker with the ball in his hands, and a lot more patience. Though they have similar size restrictions. Merc the Warriors twice. CP3 is a top 5 point guard all time. Yeah, for sure. I don't even think Parker sniffs top 10. I think off accolades and team success, he will. Individually, talent wise, no. No. Individually, no. He's sniffing it at least or no. Because he definitely not better than both Boston and Philly. I'm not gonna lie. I think they might be a little bit. Well, Mobley hasn't taken a step forward yet, and nobody's talking about it. I need to see what we get at what over the next couple seasons. Mobley needs to get a little better, a little heavier. Something has to happen there, right? Jared Allen's been Jared Allen. He's not changing. So you need Mobley to be that next guy to take that step up. But Boston's definitely, yeah, Boston and Milwaukee are 1 and 2 in my head, even with Dame's struggles. I'm hard pressed to bet against Giannis. Even the Bucks, if they lock in, he's a French top 15, if not top 20. 15 is fair. Yeah, yeah, I could see 15. I could see 15. Now that I think about it. Philly's destroying the Cavs? Really? 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 You think Philly's destroying the Cavs though? Destroying is crazy. But Tyrese Maxey might low key give that boy Donnie a mean bucket. A mean one. A mean one. At this moment is Boston, Sixers, Bucks, Cavs, Pacers, Heat, everybody else. Interesting. Knicks too. Yeah, got to put the Knicks in there, despite the god awful play of what's his name? Um, his face is in my head. Julius Randle. Golly, He was shooting toward days to start the season, in the worst way possible. Yeah, I think he had the worst start through 9 or 10 games that any player that shot as many field goals as him has ever had from an efficiency standpoint. And I was like, golly, he got paid, and this is what we're seeing. Like, this is world class selling, world class, bro. And the sad thing is, Canadian man, what is his name? RJ Barrett is playing like really, really good, like really good, but he's getting canceled out because Julius Randle's just been so god awful. I love seeing that green right there, Logic. I'm not gonna lie, man. Fits you so well. We get to see Cavs versus Sixers soon for the in-season tourney. That's gonna be a good one. Obi needs to take that depoy. Steph, he was thought to become his rookie. Yeah, he needs to take the games personally, and he's not right now. Not destroying, but they would beat them since Philly team is way better than last year. They have more depth. And their defensive versatility upgrades since they traded away Harden. I'll say that. Jared Allen and Mobley is enough to not let Embiid score 30 points. Don guarding Mobley. It's a good matchup. Fair. Don guarding Maxey. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. No one is talking about the Heat. They won 7 straight and they made the finals last year. And I think that they could be there again at the end of the season. Yeah, Jimmy's way nice. Type of player everyone wants. Exactly. Jimmy's just a winning culture guy. He's going to hold you accountable. He's going to be in your face. It's going to be a little uncomfortable sometimes, but he's going to push you. And you know that if you're a winner, you're going to like playing with Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler hates to lose. He loves to win. Similar thing with Ant, right? They both have the same energy about them, right? They just want to win regardless of anything. And I love that. I appreciate that. It's great. Nick Nurse coaching them too has been doing wonders as well. Fair play. I think depth is going to be a big thing soon. For sure. Also, every time the Sixers lost, it was close. Yeah, I can see that. There's an owl right outside my house right now. I can hear him talking to me or to somebody. I just want the Nuggets Celtics final to be H since the Jazz aren't making it. Maxey and Embiid or Jamal Murray, Jokic. Jamal Murray, Jokic. Embiid gets strapped by Al Horford in the playoffs every time they play, and it pisses me off. Oh, who would win? Jamal Murray, Jokic. Yeah, I trust Jokic more than I trust Embiid. Embiid has never had a playoff series where I was like, yo, he's on one. He's had ones where he's had good games. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. But he's never had one where it was just like, bro, what is he on? Like, we can't stop this. Last year's Jokic, series after series after series. This man was cooking. He was sitting there doing that nasty behind the head, heaving on AD, on LeBron, on everybody. Now, LeBron had probably the best defense out of all the Lakers, ironically, at age, 37? But like that man Jokic was doing everybody. It didn't matter who you were. So I still gotta lean that way. And then Maxey's nice, but Jamal Murray's playoff series last year forced me to put respect on his name. Not to say I didn't respect him before, but I just didn't have a lot of compassion in my heart for him specifically. And this just really pushed it to where I was like, hey, he's like that. He's like that. I gotta respect this game. Let's see. Yeah, Eric's with me. Cause you said since you're a Suns fan, just want the Suns to make it. We probably won't. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I was supposed to be doing a couple of Suns videos too, and I just didn't. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Low key, low key, low key, low key, low key, low key. Because I do have a decent Sun space. Embiid just needs to be healthy during the playoffs. Oh, I'll buy. Now my go. John Collins will lead us to the promised land. Go. I wish, man. I wish John Collins. What if John Collins gets pissed and gives somebody 40? I'm not taking that level of disrespect. If me personally, now John Collins is efficient, but there's no reason. Like if John Collins wants to give you 40, and the offense allows him to give you 40, that's nasty work. That's nasty work. Because John Collins isn't an expressive guy, anyways. So if he's calling for the ball and he wants those shot attempts and he gives you 40, bro, I'm not gonna lie. You earned every piece of that. Every piece. Suns the biggest threat to the Nuggets would be a great series. Timberwolves too. Kind of hot take. Not really a hot take. Still kind of. Timberwolves too. That defense is something to be spoken of. Unless obviously the Timberwolves play the Suns, in which case for some reason the Suns appear to have their number. So yeah. John Collins is killing it from three. I didn't see that coming. I'm Eric. I made a video about it, bro. I was talking about how if his hand was healed and how he was shooting 37% post All-Star break, though he still ended up shooting 29% on the season. If he continued that trend and they were able to get him the ball in a timely manner, he was gonna be about a bucket. I told you, twin. I told you. I love being right sometimes. I love being right sometimes. I love being right all the time, but like sometimes. Nuggets versus Warriors series would be nice. True. Embiid struggles sometimes in the playoffs, has a good game or two. Yeah. Since fully healthy would have been cooking. Have been cooking? Yes. Fully healthy, yeah. Nuggets in 4. Bro, it's a sweet film. I'm weak. I want the series just to see Dre put Katie in a headlock. That would be nasty work. Scared more of the teams with chemistry over years. Yeah. I think Lowry and Collins only have 2 years left on their contracts. Hopefully they stay long term. Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. This is Lowry's team. I don't think if Lowry goes somewhere else, he's going to have the same green light and the same opportunity to just flex his game the way that he does here. So I expect him to resign. Collins, I would like to resign. He looks happy. He looks happy. We're not winning a lot of games right now, but I think he sees the vision. I think he's bought in. I think he enjoys the fact that we let him do more and we let him exist and be himself a little bit more than the Atlanta Hawks did. So I expect him to stick around. If he didn't, it would actually make me kind of sad. High key. Play the Jazz tonight. Yes, sir. You'll find out soon enough. Koozie. So it sounds like you're gonna be if you're not if you're not going to the game, it sounds like you're gonna be in my live stream tonight again, chatting about the game. Am I right? That's what it sounds like, buddy. That's what it sounds like. Thoughts on the Mavs right now? Luka's been cooking as usual. Yeah, Kai's playing off Luka. It's Luka's team. Lively's being decent. It's kind of hard to assess them because they don't have like the same shock value and stars that the other teams do, but they're definitely not bad. I would argue they're definitely a playoff team. And so long as they have that boy Luka the Don, things are definitely going to be reasonable for them to go ahead and get the job done long term, in my opinion, of course. There's always going to be a shot. You combine him with the greatest dribbler of all time, the in my opinion, the most skilled player, the most skilled offensive player of all time. I'm not taking it back. I'm gonna stand on that. I'll stand on that hill and take a million bullets behind saying that about Kyrie. Oh, it's just his handle. It's just his handle. No, his handle is so crazy. It lets him get off different shots that other people quite simply take, and he be hitting them. straight like that. What? I'll stand on that hill. That's one hill that I'm not like. I'm willing to make the most unreasonable arguments behind Kyrie Irving in those situations. I don't think people understand just how crazy I'll stand behind him for that. Like if people think I stand on business behind Colin Sexton, they never heard me defend Kyrie Irving in a basketball discussion before. Because boy, I tell you, boy, I tell you. Um, let's see. Lowry most likely going to resign. Jazz hopefully go all in on him. Yeah, for sure. He deserves a paycheck. Lively looks great. Kai's fitting in. Yes, sir. Lowry loves Utah. Yup. I have the purple throwback John Collins jersey. Hopefully we don't trade my glorious king. Yeah. Hope so too for our King Collins. Yes, sir. I love him, man. I don't live near the team, so probably. Oh, sounds good. Sounds good. Still Thursday here on the West Coast. I got confused. Oh, my fault, Eric. My fault. My fault, bro. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, so it's 2 a.m. for me right now. So I probably got about a couple minutes left before I really need to lay down because I got work in 4 hours and I'm acting like I don't. That nap did me a lot of justice. That it gave me a lot of confidence that I did not deserve to have. Um, but Kyrie's the greatest ball handler. He's smooth with it too. That's what I'm saying, man. Can switch his body 3 different times in midair for a layup. Literally, the bag work is crazy. Can't wait for his Hall of Fame speech. Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious. They might want to cut his mic. I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna be reading his lips the whole time. But Darren Williams was the best ball handler until Kyrie Irving touched the basketball. Man, look at that boy. Like, people be like, Curry's a great ball handler. Yes, Curry's a good ball handler. Curry gets his shot open. That's the sole purpose of his. Kyrie be doing something wild. Kyrie be doing some wild work, boy. Maury said something more crazy than Harden is the greatest scorer all time. That didn't hold up. Yeah, that was crazy to take. I love the opinion, but nah. Carter, that's your first time commenting in chat, bro. What's up, man? How's it going? I don't know if you went to Travis Scott last night, but it was crazy. No, I didn't. But I heard it was wild. I heard it was absolutely insane. Prime Harden is up there. That double step back pissed me off so much. I don't think you understand the frustration I had. Like arguing, I used to be like, bro, that's a travel, bro. Bro, he's doing it too much. And like fair, he practiced it so much that a lot of times it wasn't at all. But there was also a fair number of times when he was traveling with that basketball. But because he did it, it had become his patented move. It didn't really like hit that hard. Primar's other reason why he's considered a top 5 shooting guard. Yeah. Honestly, I think his lack of defense just kills it for me, though, low key. And his just prima donna behavior overall. Daryl Morey is a liar. He said Daryl Morey is a liar, sir. Yeah. Did you see Rudy Gobert saying Draymond doesn't like playing without Steph, so he knew he would try and get ejected? Yeah, that was absolute comedy. Sometimes Rudy just be saying the funniest stuff, unironically though. AI started the handles. Yeah. Yep. We all know. We all know the pioneer. He took that next step. If Harden retired after 2020, his legacy wouldn't even be that bad. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. People would look at him a lot higher, actually, all things considered. These last 3 years have not been ideal for him and his career. They have straight street ball and handles. I'd still take Kyrie. Yeah, because Kyrie's a perfect blend of like herky jerky, a lot of motion, and also having the craftiness to make everything look smooth, tied together. Add a little spin move, and the spin move's tight. People don't realize how hard it is to be to dribble the way Kyrie does. Like people might be able to do one or two moves, but like the whole package on the drop of a hat, on the drop of a dime. People don't really understand how difficult that is. Like yeah, he's the best dribbler, but I can do that move. I can do that. But can you do all of them? And can you know when to use the move, when not to use the move every single time? Because he does. Other people in the NBA can't do it. Literally, there's nobody with a bag as crazy consistently as him. So shoulder shrug. You know what I'm saying? Clippers make so many excuses for that 2020 season. Yo, and they came out of the woodworks. Oh, once we heard that nobody was going to be respecting the championship, we decided we weren't going to go that hard. I said, what the? So y'all ain't got no dogs in you. Y'all not about it for real. Y'all just show up for work on Mondays, huh? That's some real show up for Mondays type work stuff. That pissed me off. I was like, oh, so now that's your excuse for letting LeBron get his ring. No. LeBron kept his guys focused on the championship regardless of all outcomes, and they got the job done. So respect the ring. Respect the ring. When there was no fans in there and it gave you an 8 a.m. AAU environment, the newer players, the younger team, should have felt right at home because we all done had an 8 a.m. AAU game. LeBron didn't have those. AAU was not really a thing back then for real. Not like it is now. And you mean to tell me that LeBron, because GOAT James sat there and got his guys ready to win, now all of a sudden, we didn't really care that much. It wasn't that important to us because we knew people weren't going to put respect on it. Man, F what people care about. Any other time you're talking about how you guys play, you're going to like, oh, the fans don't understand. The people don't understand. Their opinions don't matter. But their opinions mattered then. 12-year-olds on their keyboards mattered then. About a ring. Miss me with that. Y'all just ain't about winning. And that's why every time y'all ain't been healthy since. We'll never see what the Clippers should have been. We never will get that opportunity. Grizzly, thoughts on the Grizzlies being shit this year. Thought they were gonna make it the play-in somehow. Seems like it's not gonna be the case. I didn't think they were gonna be this bad 25 games in, but then I forgot Steven Adams is out. So Jaren Jackson Jr. has to play this true center, and he's not a true center. He's not a great rebounder, right? He's a nice roaming defender. That's how he got his defensive player of the year. People misconstrue it and say, oh, why didn't he play well in FIBA? It's like because he was playing out of position. He was playing out of position. He was forced to be a true five. And that's not what he is. That's why Walker should have played more minutes. That, along with the trade of their backup point guard, hurt them significantly because he was really that glue guy that kept things together even when Ja wasn't playing when he was playing. Yeah, between those two things and then Ja not being there at all and D Rose, the backup point guard, not being healthy, just a lose-lose situation if you're the Grizzlies. So it's not surprising, but at the same time, they're going to lose enough games to make it borderline impossible to make the playoffs. Like they're gonna have to get as close to 500 as possible with these remaining like 13, 12 games that they have, and pray that Ja can help turn the tide. Because Desmond Bane's been playing okay, right? He's fighting for his life out there. Jaren Jackson Jr. has had on and off nights. That's something you cannot accept out of him. If you're supposed to be the defensive player of the year, I need to see that action in most situations. I can't just see it every now and then, right? I need it all the time, and he hasn't been given it all the time. Oh yeah, and no more Dillon Brooks. That's a big one. Dillon Brooks is cutting up on Houston. Give respect where respect is due. I saw Rusty Buckets. Anybody that watches him, I remember he used to sit there and be like, Dillon Brooks isn't that good of a player. He can't shoot that well from the field. In my head, I was like, he's not shooting that well right now, but in theory, he's still a good player, right? He made the series against LeBron and them interesting. And even though he couldn't capitalize because he wasn't shooting well last year, I didn't think he should have been out of the league. That was crazy to me. Obviously things ended up working a lot better now, and he's shooting like ridiculous splits from the field, and I don't know how sustainable they are, but he's definitely his play style is conducive to success right now. If Ja keeps flashing guns, they might as well shut it down this year. Find his replacement. Yeah. Oof, I'm gonna have to watch highlights from that 2020 Jazz Nuggets series again. After this stream, we lost, but if the Jazz won it, I'll be having a parade. Freaking job, man. So much potential. Say it, man. Just got to be deliberate and make the smart decisions, and he's not doing that right now. Donovan Mitchell versus Jamal Murray was peak hoops. Fair. Both dropping 40 a game. Fair. Half of their team was injured. Awesome. Yeah. I think the Rockets keep it up this year. I don't know. I know what the Brooks. That's what I was saying. I think the Rockets low key might be a playing team. I got to see how the Jazz play against them, and then I'll know for certain. Because obviously I spent this entire year watching Jazz games, so the Jazz are my measuring stick right now. But their wins are legitimate. I'm not. Don't sit there and think that I'm discrediting their wins and saying, oh, that they're just a mediocre team that just happens to be on in the NBA right now. That's not what I'm saying for sure. I think the Rockets keep it up this year. Northern Brooks. Really hate watching. I really like watching Desmond Bain play. Yeah, he's a good defensive asset. Yeah, he's got really stubby arms. Sometimes it looks like I don't know why, or maybe he's just because he's so aki. Good defensive asset. Yeah, especially with Houston. Yeah, not to mention the 39% bomb during FIBA. Yeah. Cardi said Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are game time decisions tomorrow. I don't want them to play. I know Kuzi wants them to, but I don't want them to play. I want to win. I want the Jazz to win. I want the Jazz to win and get a wild card. The Lakers can win because I know LeBron. It's going to help LeBron's narrative, and I love helping LeBron's narrative. So, a good game, but yeah. To address Desmond Bain, but got as weak instead. Yeah. Houston might have that dog Jazz had last year, and who's to say? I have bigger wingspan than Desmond Bain. That's rude. Do you think my Cavs would perform good or bad this season? Super Cosmic Boy 100. Welcome to the chat, man. Are they overcoming their early season struggles? I think they will. I think they will right the ship. I think they'll be okay. I don't think they'll super overachieve. But I do think the Cavs are a legitimate playoff contending team. In the video that I did, I definitely said that they were. They were only one of my 5 teams to do it. So I still hold that standard to them. Obviously, the Dame trade, if it works out perfectly, kind of puts them at a little bit more of a disadvantage, but you're still a top 4 team, undoubtedly, in my head. And if at the end of the season, if y'all end up outside of the top 4, that would be y'all falling short of my expectations, in my opinion. Who you don't want to play? Oh, the Suns play the the Suns play the Jazz today, and I don't see it on my screen right now. Somebody said, "Oh, Carter said Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are game time decisions." I think we can win if it's just KD and the bench, but with the full trio playing, I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna look good. Saying it was Walmart Jokic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. No, you said that. I feel if you didn't say that last time, go somebody did, and I see what y'all mean. Yeah, the Jazz will make the play in because I was high on the team winning at least 37 to 40 game. I want to be, man. They're making it hard. They made it really, really hard. Watching those games with THT not be conducive to success, really hurted me. But I think ultimately things will get better, and I think that we are a playing team. I think we definitely have that ceiling, right? Just a matter of time. I went to Walmart today for a blender. Almost as good as the one my brother got from Costco. Yeah, Walmart be having them things. It's just the demographic of people that tend to go to Walmart. That's the problem. That's why Walmart gets a bad rap, honestly. We gotta face Kevin Durant. I don't like him. I don't like Kevin Durant either, but he's the lesser of two evils at this stage in his career, honestly. Like second, yep. Why are the Kings so hard to beat? Because they're a consistent team. They have immaculate chemistry. Those boys play for each other. Their coach is an elite coach, no matter what anybody says. I love those guys. Plus, I was a De'Aaron Fox fan growing up. Obviously. Outside of that, they play for each other. They have a system in place. They're held accountable. Nobody's above anything. If the coach says something, he gonna stand on business. All that. And they just have really good players on top of that. So All those things together, they're an under the radar team that doesn't get thrown under the bus every time somebody makes a mistake. So the media is not pressed out to kill them. They're winners. Kings don't got a weakness. I'd say that's why. Yeah. They need to improve on the rebounding a little bit. Sabonis needs help. He can't be averaging, 12 rebounds like he was last year. And then your second highest be Keegan Murray with 4.6. That's unacceptable. When I did my video about the Kings, that's the only video I've done about the Kings actually. In my season predictions arc. Like I said that cannot happen. Help that man on the glass. He's sitting there playmaking. He's scoring. He's playing defense, being a rim protector. And he's rebounding. Help that brother out, please. Please. I want to see the Jazz push to overachieve again, even with these early struggles. Yeah, and it's definitely still feasible logic. Definitely is. Remember the poster on KD Monk did? I was hot. But don't forget, Chris Dunn literally came right back down, got a steal, and dunked, and Malik ran under the rim there. So not the same kind of body back, but he got his face back with that steal, in my opinion. Every team got a weakness. Yeah. I was gonna say the rebounding. Yeah. I was at the game, and even seeing that poster was wow. Bro, in person, that poster must have looked like something you'd see in like a college back gym. I think it must have been nasty. I'm already knowing. And I like Malik Monk, which is why I hated that it happened on Chris Dunn. Like if it happened on literally almost any other player on any other night, but it had to happen against the Utah Jazz on Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn didn't do nothing to nobody. And then he flexed on him. The flex pissed me off. Cause like against somebody else, I would have been right behind him, like, yeah. But when he's out there and did it, Chris, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Chris Dunn didn't do nothing to nobody. Get out his face. Ref, call a tech. And the ref ain't tech him either. I'm like, man, y'all cheesing right now. For real. Cavs will beat him next time. We'll see. I can't say many teams that have more depth than Sacramento. Yeah. I'll say Phoenix. Phoenix probably. But overall top heavy bottom depth, probably Kings. Okoro will find where their weak spot. Kings third strings are still good. They are. Wemby and Rudy playing for France in the Olympics will be crazy. My two non-favorite Jazz players. Yeah, fair. Literally facts. My Cavs will start doing good again when they just had injuries and we're changing the offensive strategy. Completely understandable. Completely valid. Right? Completely valid. It's crazy because I have Dunn's hometown from Dunn's hometown. And he has his own day for that to just happen to him. I was low-key hot too. Yeah. It's not fair because he lost 3 games due to injuries. I'm irritated about that. He was great last season. I'm watching lots of Cavs games. Yep. For sure. You think the Thunder could win a playoff series at all? I don't know, but I can't count them out because of SGA. SGA has literally been so good to the point where I can't just act like it's not reasonable. I think that's the biggest difference. I'd say that is the biggest difference. Would it surprise me if they did? It depends on who against, but I can't count them out. Yeah, who they play. Yeah, who they face. Yeah, for sure. I am in agreement with you. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where are we? It was kind of sad when we lost the Thunder. Let's hoping we win. Our uphill battle is close. Yeah. Carter. Carter, what part of the US are you on, brother? Are you on the East Coast too? That's why you're telling me to go to sleep? I was reading my chart. I don't want y'all to think I just like low key like just fell out on y'all. But I do need to. The new Star Wars is good, yeah. Hopefully you don't get embarrassed. Tonight ESPN, we got impressed for the casuals. Yeah, yeah. Can we talk about Tyrese Halliburton? Man, Pacers offense has been wild lately. He's really that good. His jumper is unconventional, but it works. But man, look, Halliburton got those boys moving different. Moving different. When I tell you that offense is something different. Keontae needs to go ahead and study that film. That's the film that you want him looking at right there. That's good. That's good comp. That's compy right there. For real. Like, if we're like eighth and first is Nuggets, then no. If the middle of the pack, then probably like to see them go in the second round. Yeah, he's top 20 now, in my opinion. Because of the success that they're having right now in the season, if we're taking just into account this year's thus far, yes, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Kuzi. You said, "Nah, you live in Utah." Oh well, you're right. You're right. I do need to because it's almost 3 o'clock over here. Because I got to be up in 3.5 hours, so I'm gonna lay down, take another nap, and then go back to work. Probably get a little bit of coaching afterwards. Is Okoro a good enough small forward? Do you think he'll make the Cavs better to get in the playoffs, a better playoff run? Yes. Yes. His Okoro at his best. Yes. Okoro at his best. If he takes nights off and he's not impressionable the entire time, then no. But if he chooses on a night in, night out basis that he wants to gun it for the win every time, it will ultimately push the Cavs to be a better overall team because they will have no choice but to go with his success. I would agree with you, yes. Darius is gay 100%. Have high hopes for Okoro. The Pacers would be good, but God. I'm saying. I think it caught a lot of people for surprise. I wonder if Pacers fans or like Pacers analysts really. I don't know any Pacers content creators personally, so I can't think of anybody that predicted this. But yeah, would Donovan go to the Knicks, stay with Cavs, or go back to Utah? I don't know. I doubt he comes back to Utah. I could see him going to the Knicks, but I think he likes where he is with the Cavs. I think something would have to happen between him and the Cavs front office before he goes to New York. Go to sleep and take a fat nap. For real. Not even gonna see you later. Oh, Logic's out there. He already knows what it is. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Not even gonna see you later. Let's say naps during the game. See you sometime after it. Oh no, I'll probably pop up at halftime. I'll probably start my live. I think that's the goal. So when halftime hits, definitely expect that live notification, boys. Don will be back in Utah in that logic. Did you see Donovan respond to a tweet about Key saying the kid tough? Maybe Key can recruit him back. That's what you're thinking. Really do. Just not the same as it used to be, man. I don't know if it's possible, but anything could happen. It's 2:41. Wait, Kuzi, you're on the East Coast too? Kuzi, where are you? Oh, you're in Connecticut. Ooh. Wait. That's real. That's real. Okay. I'm in North Carolina, so we're on this. Me and you are on the same timeline. Dang, bro, you really hung out with us for a minute there. I like that. I'll rock with you, Kuzi. I'll rock with you. I appreciate you hopping in here, man. But I guess it's time for us to go ahead and close it down then, boys. It was fun because I really only planned on being here for an hour. And obviously, like usual, whenever I say I'm going to be on here for any amount of time, double it because I'm definitely going to be on there twice as long because we just have good conversations. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I got to go with the outro. We didn't get Lee Fan or any of the boys in here. I feel bad because Lee definitely said he was going to be in here, and then I started the live too late. So he probably put Oakley down and laid down for the night, low key. Before you go, do you watch college hoops? Absolutely. Real quick, 30-second rant, I promise. Caleb Foster from Duke and Trey Green for Xavier University. I was a Kentucky fan back when they had De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. I'm overarching. I've been an NC State fan when they had Dennis Smith Jr. That being said, I had the opportunity to coach Caleb Foster and Trey Green and Jordan Marsh, who I believe is at App State right now. All three of those when they were in middle school. So I have very much love in my heart for those boys, and I have to buy like the overall whatever the league pass is, whatever it is that'll allow me to watch all college games. I need to go ahead and get that because I need to see their games. Because, man, it's crazy seeing like the boys grow up and they go to college and stuff like that. Sorry, geeked a little bit. Knight Tyson. Let's see, football wise, before you go. This year, I'm leaning Bengals. I'm in Charlotte. Being a Panthers fan hasn't been the same since Cam left, to be honest. There's not really much going on outside of that. The Patriots are a hot dog water show. I mean, I like players individually, but I'm probably with the Bengals. I'm riding with the Bengals still right now. But yeah, man. Watch Ron Holland, bro. Was me. I'm weak. Duke versus Arizona was crazy. Caleb Love French game. He does seem comfortable here. I like him to stay here for a bit, but I feel like his time is temporary, and I'm cool with him leaving us. Thought he was going to the Knicks, but for now he seems uninterested. Yeah, that's why I said something would have to happen between him and the front office. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Thought the Knicks were entitled and wanted too many stars, so I didn't like them for that, but I sympathized with me in torture sports history. That's what I'm saying. The Knicks haven't had like Patrick Ewing. You know how old Patrick Ewing is? You see him on sidelines as a coach nowadays, bro. He's old. That's how long it's been since the Knicks have been good. Let me stop. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you, boys. Thanks for tuning into the live stream. Those that joined the family, Koozie, the rest of y'all. Appreciate y'all coming out. Hope you enjoyed the experience. Definitely hop back in here. We'll be live tomorrow night. Obviously, I'm gonna be chatting about the Jazz game. Can't live stream the actual game, but I'm gonna be talking about it the whole time. You know how it is. With that being said, if you haven't already, like, subscribe to the channel. If you're not a member, become a member, man. Early releases to videos. Also, I need some more topics for videos, so go ahead and under any of the more recent videos or any of my recent posts that I've made, go ahead and suggest topics. Definitely down on it. That being said, thanks for tuning in this live stream. I appreciate you guys always being there. This community is going to go through the roof, and it's only a matter of time. With that being said, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you're on the club watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Successful night, boys. Successful night.